Hello and welcome back to some more Genshin Impact. So I'm going to be continuing the timed event with this quest right here. Your Highness, what brings you here? A squirrel, like queen or something, or princess? I don't know. Given how things stand, I shall retrieve the relic myself, and then decide what to do next. Your Highness, that will not do! Your Highness, you cannot go! Oh, it seems you have a better solution. Let's hear it then, Minister Saborn. I, would like to inform your highness that following a long discussion with Safash? I don't know how to say that. Last night, we have come to the conclusion that it would be better to set up a trial ground elsewhere. Here, here. And then the Guardian who passes our selection process can retrieve the relic for us. Two birds, one stone. But without the relic, how can we be sure that the chosen guardian is really the one who we are looking for? Worry not, ministers. Though we are indeed facing a great crisis, this is precisely as the legends predicted. And this is the Princess of Kingdoms of Breezes and Bells. I'd point that out. That's her title anyways, underneath her name. When the crisis befalls us, a guardian shall thereupon emerge. At this moment, what I must do is ensure that they are shown the right path. Besides, I am the best flyer in the kingdom, so there is none more suitable than I to judge the guardian's abilities. But then will you go instead? I'm afraid my legs are rather useless when it comes to flight of any kind. How about you, Saborn? Will you go? My eyesight. Alas, I fear I am unable to see their movements clearly enough to judge. Good, then that's settled then. The two of you will stay to handle affairs within the kingdom, while I shall assist in managing the selection process at the original location myself. Something fun going on? Might I submit myself as a candidate for the trial, Your Highness? Oh, we're good at flying and adventuring too. Can we participate? Oh, greetings to the both of you, and welcome to the Kingdom of Breezes and Bells. You're very welcome to sign up for the Guardian of the Kingdom selection trials. You have not previously participated in the selection trials of our Kingdom of Breezes and Bells, if I am not mistaken. How does your highness know this? Your appearance differs greatly from our kingdom's subjects. Had you taken part before, I would not forget it. Oh, that's enough chit-chat, I suppose. As it so happens, I was just about to head over to host the selection ceremony near the Relic Shrine. Let us go there together. Ministers, the kingdom's affairs are in your hands. Do try not to let anyone cut this tree down while I'm away finding our true guardian, if you could. As you wish, Your Highness. The two of you, please come with me. Before the selection officially begins, there are a few things I still need to tell you. So, I don't think that this is supposed to be the princess that the frogs were, talking about rescuing. This is somebody else entirely. And, is she gonna lead me over to where this is? If so, then that means it's not actually, a hidden place, but it's part of this quest. Please wait here a moment. I will introduce the trial for you, as well as a few things that you'll need to watch out for. Wow, Her Highness sure is a decisive decision-maker, huh? Well, guess that's a true princess for you. I declared I'd accept the trial quite suddenly, but Your Highness didn't seem particularly surprised. Oh, perhaps my introduction seemed a little too forthcoming. My apologies. In truth, there have been many squirrels who, like you, have suddenly turned up and declared their intention to undergo the trial, so I am already accustomed to receiving such candidates. We're obviously not squirrels, though, but okay. At least, there were many before that dragon attacked the kingdom. You said it was to retrieve a relic. Is it being kept somewhere dangerous? It is indeed. As I mentioned not long ago, a giant dragon passed through our kingdom. We tried our best to drive it away, but before leaving, it trampled both the trial ground and the sacred site, where the relic was kept to smithereens. Our original stable trial environment is now very different from the way it used to be, The wind currents have become unpredictable, causing a dramatic increase in the difficulty of some trial stages. After the environment changed so drastically, some candidates, who could have easily passed the first few stages before, now find even the very first stage to be too challenging. But from another perspective, the current trial is actually a better test of the candidate's true strength, so it should better help us choose a strong guardian of the kingdom. I'm pretty strong. But Paimon too. Well, if that's truly the case, let us get straight to it. Allow me to introduce the trial for you. Simply put, in this trial, the candidate must help their squirrel companion fly in the right direction by guiding them along the wind currents. Don't worry, it isn't complicated. All you have to do is observe the direction of the currents and make decisions accordingly. Of course, you need not worry about the issue of direction. In this kingdom, no wind can stop me from flying wherever I will. Alright, let us begin. Please make sure you're both ready. Okay. Do I gotta talk to her again or something? Wait. Oh. I guess we're starting right here. Okay, let's get this started. Let's see. It's actually been a second since I've done this, so I've got to go through the rings and then bring it back. And then I've got to go over there. Looks like we work well together. Your judgments are most precise. Well, I try to be. So now only the princess who possesses immense powers of flight may even go against the current. Through the wind passage, ordinary flying squirrels would not be scared off, or would be scared off by the flurry of floral fury unleashed. Okay. Oh, I get it. So I just gotta go through there like that. Okay. And then bring it back this way. Just like this. Well, that was neat. Ahead lies the final trial. Prepare yourselves. Okay. Easy enough. So go through there, right? Interesting. That was not quite right, was it? Do I gotta activate this? Yeah, I've gotta activate that and then do this. Okay. So I've got to keep up with her so that way I can take advantage of this little flight path here. Neat. Now we're supposed to talk to her. I'm not sure how to say her name. Is it like Sea Mist or something? Huh. Your Highness, you're amazing. You flew past so easily. Your ability to judge the wind's currents was also remarkable. It seems you are worthy to undergo the trial after all. Let us make haste to the site where the relic is being kept. Hopefully we won't have another run-in with that dragon. Obviously we're not going to. The dragon is a good person now. I am a voice, but not life. Huh? What was that? It sounded like someone's voice? Aether, did you hear that? I definitely heard it, but I have no idea what it meant. Whoa, the princess is way ahead. Let's forget about that for now and catch up with her first. It sounds like a plan. So we've got to go up into here. Wait a sec. What? Why is it telling me to go all the way over here? What? Why would it tell me to go back that way? That makes no sense. Okay, maybe this really is something different. In that case, I'll teleport over here. I remember having questions about this area before. I was wondering what was up with all the rings that were around here. So, this is where the relic was being kept. These footprints are massive. That dragon must be huge. Well, we've already seen the dragon, but okay. I wish that they would acknowledge that. Perhaps in driving the dragon away, we also drove it into a rage. That dragon is actually... You tell the story of the dragon to the princess in its entirety. Okay, they did acknowledge it. That's good. Can such a thing be? Truly unexpected. At the time, I was too panicked, so I just gave the order to drive him away. Had we the chance to calmly speak with one another, perhaps... Ahem. Never mind. What's done is done. We must focus on the problem at hand. As for that dragon, once all our problems have been resolved, I shall visit him personally. Now let us focus on the relic. The relic is down there. Past the trial, you may claim it. Paimon thought that the relic would be protected by some kind of seal, or guard, or something. But it looks like it's just lying there. And it doesn't seem like anything's stopping someone from just taking it. Is it that thing that's like, that I was wondering what it was before? I think it might be. Just hop in a step away. Why don't we just jump down and take it? What you say is correct. This relic does indeed have a seal, namely the trial that you have seen. According to the kingdom's kingdom's records, one must pass the trial in order to retrieve the relic. Conversely, if it is taken by someone who has not yet passed the trial, it will lose its meaning as a relic. Thus, I must pass the entire trial to retrieve the true relic. There must be both a trial and a challenger to do so. Without satisfying these two conditions, the best case scenario is that we'd be walking away with a useless lump of stone. The best case scenario, does that mean something worse could happen too? Those who act in defiance of the rules shall be cursed. That's coming from Aether, by the way. Cursed? In that case, let's just go ahead and accept the trial. I mean, how does Aether know that, though? That'll make no sense, does it? Like, why would he know that you could be cursed? Anyways, the thing in question, the relic in question, is this little floating thing right here that I was wondering about a couple videos back, or a few videos back, maybe even. Hey, let's start this. So, at least it doesn't seem like it's going to be too different from what we're used to, right? Oh, whoa! I wasn't expecting that. Okay. Would you stop moving? Okay, you know what? It's not good to do it from that section there, because of how it's moving like that. Much harder to aim in that case. There we go. Perhaps those fierce flowers over there could be of some use. Okay. Whoops, I missed it. Come on, you. Use the wind, and then kind of wait for it to line up a little bit. Just like, well, that didn't work out very well, did it? No! I messed up. Oh well. I think I know where I'm supposed to aim from. It's from this right here, right? Because she'll end up over there anyways. Yeah, probably. Actually, I'm not sure anymore. Maybe I really am supposed to get through these. Yeah, just like that, okay. And then, there we go. Was that it? I hadn't expected you to be able to judge the wind currents so accurately. If you were flying squirrels like I am, navigating those wind currents would pose you no challenge, of that I am certain. Paimon's a natural when it comes to flying. If everyone had to use wind gliders, I'd be unbeatable. I'll select the top option. Is that so? I'm glad to hear that, because you two are the most guardian-like candidates I've ever seen. Then let us continue. The current wind conditions are just right. No problem. Hee. Everything's going great. Maybe we're the guardians that Her Highness has been looking for. Your Highness was outstanding too. Your Highness is the only true guardian. Which one should I select? I'll select that one. Thank you for your kind words. I had, in fact, passed the trial many times before the dragon destroyed the sacred site. Purely in terms of flying ability, I am confident that no other squirrel is my equal. Previous candidates found even the first few stages too difficult. Huh? But if your Highness has already passed the trial, how come you didn't take the relic? Unfortunately, the relic has yet to acknowledge me. So even guardians require the relic's acknowledgement. Why does that relic get to call the shots? That I do not know. Perhaps I thought I didn't pass the trial. Surely there aren't hidden stages. Do the trial stages change for each challenger? All I know is the relic has never lit up for me. But you, not only have you come precisely at our kingdom's hour of need, but your capabilities are undeniable. That is why I believe you will earn the relic's acknowledgement. Let us continue. The final stage of the trial waits. Okay. So now we've got to go where? So it's somewhere within this circle. Oh, right here. Okay. Oh. You know, I think I should probably activate this thing, right? No, that's not gonna work? Okay. Never mind that then. Now I just gotta slowly turn the camera around. Why did it take so long to turn the camera around? I don't know. There we go. Cool. Was that all? No, there's more over here. Kind of odd. Let's activate that very fast, because I don't think it really matters if you activate that first. Okay. It's pretty neat how she'll stay there like that in the wind current. It appears we have some uninvited guests. Might I trouble the two of you to kindly remove them from the premises? Should we indulge their antics, something blah blah blah.
This is order.
Okay.
Allow me. Take flight. Sucker a squirrel.
Easy enough. Okay, where's the big guy? Right over here. Whoopsie. Stay frozen for just a second.
Yahoo!
You know what? I'm gonna do this. And then... No! That kind of got messed up. That tree ruined me. It ruined my plans. There we go. Truly, you are both exceptionally skilled. Something's wrong with Fury's flowers. Very well. Then I shall complete this part on my own. What do you mean? What? What just happened? Oh, she's actually doing it. Please stay vigilant to ensure that more unwanted guests don't arrive, or something to that effect. There we go. Next we must complete the relic's judgment. Okay. So what's going on with the relic? We passed! Aether, we're guardians now! So this is is this the relic that's used to acknowledge new guardians? Wow, I kept misreading that. Huh? There's something carved into it. Like a line of text, maybe? Let Paimon take a closer look. Stories follow rules, unfolding cyclical patterns. Or unfolding in cyclical patterns. But each should follow its own course. Paimon doesn't get it. Do you get it, Aether? It's probably some roundabout way of cheering us on, or it's probably meant to encourage challengers. Those words have always been there. Even I do not know their origin. I sense that they may hold some great significance for the kingdom, but I have yet to grasp their meaning. Whatever the case, given your performance in the trial, you are undoubtedly the most suitable candidates for the title of Guardian that I've ever met. Your abilities and judgment are beyond question. Meeting you at a time like this is truly a blessing for our kingdom. Now that we've retrieved the relic, we may hold the ceremony right away. I am fully confident that your courage and abilities will have won the relic's respect. Blah. You flatter me, Your Highness. Nothing can stand in our way. Hehe, it was nothing. We're just glad we could help you, Your Highness. Whoa! When did you guys get here? Paimon didn't even notice you arrive. We flew over, of course. We were among the best flyers around when we were young, you know. How else would we have been able to serve the princess? Never judge a squirrel by its appearance. Well, I never. A visitor turning up at our time of crisis, a guardian emerging from the trials victorious, and the relic in our possession, intact and unharmed. Your Highness, everything is as exactly as the legend said. It seems that our kingdom finally has a future to look forward to. We shall find out soon enough. Now please place your hand upon the relic. Let it light up and proclaim that you are henceforth the guardian of the kingdom. Do you think it's not bright enough, or has it even lit up at all? Let Paimon take a look. Eh? Maybe it's been there so long that it just can't light up anymore? Kind of like how candles that have been lying around for too long, it won't burn very brightly. How could that be? All the details match, yet the relic is still... Your Highness, whatever the case, at least the relic is in our hands, even if our guest failed to be acknowledged by... No. Your Highness? Place the relic to one side. It is my kingdom for which the challengers have come. Therefore it is I who must acknowledge them. Your Highness, but no ruler of our kingdom has ever taken it upon themselves to acknowledge a guardian. Then let us create a precedent for future rulers to follow. Aether, Paimon, come forward. As Princess of the Kingdom of Breezes and Bells, I hereby declare that Aether and Paimon shall henceforth be recognized as the kingdom's paladins of Breezes and Bells. At your service, Your Highness. It is my honor, Your Highness, either way. Hooray! A paladin of Breezes and Bells. Hee hee, such a cool title. Definitely cooler than just being any old guardian. But surely that means we still haven't found our guardian. And if that is so, then we won't be able to fulfill our calling. And if we cannot fulfill our calling, we'll no longer have a future to look forward to. Just like the kingdoms that came before us. Fret not, I will find a way. Wait, speaking of choosing a guardian, they're currently choosing a champion over at Rainsong Pond. I'm surprised that they referenced that. You mean that Farobert who could jump super high? You're right. The whole reason they held that contest was to find a champion to come rescue the princess. Although it doesn't seem like the princess needs saving. If you were looking for a super strong champion to win your contest, they just so happen to have one. In fact, there's bound to be heaps of potential champions over there. Wait, by contest you mean trial. And by champion you mean guardian. What an extraordinary coincidence. Yes, indeed. So the frog, Farobert, is the actual guardian. Though our trial doesn't really have anything to do with jumping, still, from what you've said, it sounds like they found the strongest candidate to compete in their calling. Or to complete their calling. It seems a trip over to Rainsong Pond is in order. Thank you for informing me. Wait, but, Your Highness, they're all paper frogs over there. They're nothing like this. They're not... So what? A guardian's most vital asset is what is in their heart, not their appearance. Ministers, you are to stay and look after the kingdom while I am gone. I will go to Rainsong Pond myself. My loyal paladin, I hope that the champion over at Rainsong Pond is as fearless and skilled as you are. Well, skilled is certainly accurate. But as for fearless, that remains to be seen. Oh, you mean to say that this champion of theirs is actually a sheep in wolf's clothing? Ha 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 ha! Then all the more reason to go meet him in person. Alright, that's settled then. Oh, and if I'm going over to Rainsong Pond, perhaps I'd better bring some gifts. So that's the end of that quest. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Is it going to continue over in the Rainsong Pond area? Well, there isn't a marker for it. I better go over there just in case. Oh, as soon as I teleported over here, it gave me a new quest to do over here. What the? I think Paimon was saying something as well, but I didn't catch what she was saying, so... And I wasn't recording when she was saying it, which is very unfortunate. But let's go down there to see what she's, what's going on with the princess. So, we're all completely stumped. How come you're all here? Or looks like I'm here now too, yeah. Oh, it's you. Such a relief that you've come. Thank you for coming, my honorable paladin. We seem to have run into a rather peculiar problem. Peculiar problem? Oh no, don't tell Paimon that the relic hasn't acknowledged Mr. Farobert either. If the problem was only that I haven't been acknowledged as guardian, that would actually be simpler. How to put this? Mr. Farbert is indeed the champion jumper. That much is indisputable. But the trial he passed was Rangsong Pond's jumping contest. And when he was acknowledged as champion, it was a committee that declared him so. It is true that Her Highness resides in a tall tower, and that in this kingdom does indeed have its own series of arduous trials. But she clearly isn't trapped, much less needs me to jump up and rescue her. And those trials, no matter how good I was at jumping, I'd never be able to pass them. They just aren't designed for paper frogs. On paper, you seem like the perfect candidate, but the details just didn't work out. What are we to do if we can't complete our calling? You keep talking about this calling of yours, and Mr. Farbert mentioned it too. What exactly is it? If you haven't found the guardian and princess you're looking for, why don't you just keep looking? Even if you don't find them right this instant, it's not like this place is going to vanish into thin air. Our kingdom exists for its calling. It is also the only way we can save it. Likewise, the residents of Rangsong Pond have sacrificed so much, and are continuing to sacrifice for that princess who's nowhere to be found. Generation after generation of champions have quietly aged away, all memory of their deeds fading away into oblivion. The first referee has spoken of these brave ones before. Weighed down by the burden of unrealized ambition, they are left with no other choice but to end their days in obscurity. Such a fate is crueler than the fall of a kingdom. Farbert, we talked about this before. You said you were going to reconsider, and now... We must have faith in our champion. Our champion will not back down. If I were perched on a lotus leaf and suddenly found myself drifting away with the current, I would do my best to make sure it didn't capsize in the middle of the river. Now that I carry the lotus head bangle, I will not... no, I cannot shirk my duty. This has nothing to do with courage, first referee, just duty. Paimon knew our lotus leaf rafting experience was a complete waste of time. Spoken like a true champion. But if I do end up going overboard, you'll have to call for a stamp. He'd definitely be better at this than I am. He's the real champion when it comes down to it, so why have I ended up being the one on the lotus leaf? Haha, looks like we still have to go rafting a few more times. Ha! You sure are one unique champion. No matter how hard you try, you're always convinced you're going to fail. You really needn't worry. After all, not only did you come here entirely of your own accord, but you have the courage to shoulder a great responsibility. You were brave enough to make a choice and boldly follow through with it. At least in my eyes, you're no less than any flying squirrel. Your Highness, thank you so much for your praise and for your trust. Besides, I'm already on this lotus leaf, so I can't get off now anyway. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, well anyway, now that we have the backing of so many strong fighters, I think it's high time we headed to the Cave of Eerie Murmurs to see what lurks in its depths. Is that the place that we were, that had that unmarked teleporter on the map? Anyways. Saborn, Safash, I don't think I'm saying that correctly. There's no use trying to stop me. After all, when have you ever succeeded in holding me back? Come on, lighten up. This is the last clue we need to save the kingdom. But not a single princess has gone into the Cave of Eerie Murmurs has ever come back out again. If there's nothing in the Cave of Eerie Murmurs, what does it matter whether I return or not? But on the other hand, if there really is a clue to the salvation of the kingdom in there, then even if I were to be trapped inside, that wouldn't be such a bad thing, would it? What kind of place is this Cave of Eerie Murmurs anyway? And why does your Highness sound so serious? Oh, it's nothing out of the ordinary. Simply put, it's where those princesses of past kingdoms search for the answer. But even until the day their kingdoms vanished utterly, those princesses were never ever seen again. Huh? By never seen again, surely you don't mean the cave swallowed them alive? Or they disappeared too? There isn't a single flying squirrel that knows, but we'll soon find out anyway, or find out soon enough. To be safe, I'll bring this relic along with us. Who knows, it might just come in handy. Alright, everyone, let's go. Given that one of you is an expert flyer and the other a champion jumper, I trust you'll both be able to keep up with me. Okay. Whoa, Her Highness has flown off already. Let's catch up, Aether. So, is it all the way over where I suspect it'll be? Yep, it is. Before I go over there, I want to talk to these people. Honorable Guardian, what can I do for you? About the kingdoms that failed to fulfill their calling. You... Alright. Since the princess herself has acknowledged you as the paladin of breezes and bells, it is only right that I tell you about such matters. Prior to the current era of the Kingdom of Breezes and Bells, this land has known many kingdoms. Just like us, their calling was to find the guardian of the kingdom, who would be acknowledged by the relic. But these kingdoms, which were established to fulfill a calling, declined and vanished before they could fulfill it. Not a single one of them managed to find a guardian who could save the whole kingdom. Vanished? So, if you can't fulfill this calling of yours, something bad will happen. That is correct. In some cases, the subjects of the kingdom suddenly lost their voices, while in others, the kingdom's water supply dried up overnight. Having lost their future, all of these kingdoms eventually faded into oblivion. If we cannot fulfill our calling, this will be our fate too. In any case, I wish you good luck, Paladin. What about this one? Honorable Guardian, what can I do for you? About the kingdoms that failed to fulfill their calling. Oh, wait. Is it just repeating what I just heard? I think it is. For some reason, I thought it was just the one that was explaining things. Oh, pleasure to meet you. Ha 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 ha. It seems you're a popular one indeed. Even Her Highness Princess Semest knows of you. I think that's how you say that name. About the price paid by Rainsong Pond. Oh, such a heavy topic. Well, seeing as you've asked, it would be rude not to give you an answer. Oh, but everything seems fine over at Rainsong Pond. You all look so happy to be jumping around and taking part in the contest. In one sense, that is so. The waters of Rainsong Pond have never dried up. The contest has never been interrupted. Each committee works tirelessly away, and each contestant training constantly, doing everything they can to be up to the task of saving the princess someday. Okay, the way that was structured was confusing me. The sentence, that is. But all those paper frogs, endlessly laboring, they are the price that Rainsong Pond has paid. From the moment we are born, our calling is to practice jumping and save the princess. Every aspect of life at Rainsong Pond revolves around this. Innumerable paper frogs have sat on Rainsong Pond's committee, and countless champions have been chosen. But all this time, we've never managed to find our princess. Generation upon generation of frustrated champions have thus aged away, not knowing how to fulfill the calling that they so cherished. All they can do is watch helplessly as their once powerful legs grow weak, and their fine webbed feet gradually wither away. Worst of all, because our champions keep aging, we must constantly train new ones to ensure that we have the strongest paper frogs ready at all times should the princess suddenly appear. I thought they were supposed to go rescue the princess. How could they expect her to appear? I mean, she did in this particular case. She went there to Rainsong Pond. At least that's what she said she was going to do, but yeah. Anyways, so Rainsong Pond's contest continues, but any signs of it ending. Yet now, none remember the names of those champions who, though they too once cherished the calling, ended up aging away in helpless impotence. As the princess put it, weighed down by the burden of unrealized ambition, they are left with no other choice but to end their days in obscurity. Such a fate is crueler than the fall of a kingdom. But that's enough about that. The atmosphere is suddenly feeling rather heavy. Let us place our trust in Farabert and the princess. I'm sure they'll be able to do something about it. Okay, what else do you have to say? Wait, where's the stamp? Oh, that good fellow. He said he was going for a stroll to get some fresh air. Perhaps he's practicing his diving as we speak. If only a stamp could share some of his relaxed mindset with Firebird. Even a fifth of it would do. Okay, so let's now continue over here. Didn't the princess take us to the Cave of Eerie Murmurs before? I'm unsure she heard a strange voice while we were there. Just to let you guys know, us paper frogs aren't very good at jumping in caves. Don't worry, Mr. Farbert. Paimon might have just been hearing things. I am a voice, but a voice is not life. Interaction is only born of contradictions, and only interaction is dialogue. There it is again! Do not fear, these voices will not harm us. They are simply lamenting their own past. Lamenting the past? Are these the princess's voices? To be precise, both princesses and princes. What they have in common is, they are all the voices from fallen kingdoms. They came in search of answers, but found nothing. All they could do was stay and lament their fate in vain. You know this place well. You must have come here many times before. You show great intuition, as one would expect of a paladin. That is correct. I have come here often since my ascension. After all, compared to all those princesses and princes from the past, there is nothing special about me at all. I wouldn't say that's necessarily true. It was wishful thinking indeed for me to have imagined that a miracle might suddenly happen, and that I'd find our true guardian just like that. But for the sake of my kingdom, I had to keep searching for a way to fulfill my calling. I could not simply stand by and watch it fade away. I just realized that there's that purple flower thing right there, as well as those, pillars of water. I imagine once the frog jumps on that, something will happen. Something will change. So I looked everywhere, but found nothing. Finally, though, I narrowed down my search to the Cave of Eerie Murmurs. But because this cave has never been thoroughly investigated, and so as not to drive Saborn and Safash sick with worry or cause their voices to go hoarse, I have never entered the Cave of Eerie Murmurs itself. Now, for the future of the kingdom, and all our age champions, I have no choice but to go in. Don't be afraid, Your Highness. Not only do you have the super strong Aether and the champion jumper Mr. Farobert to back you up, but also the seasoned floater Paimon too. No matter what happens, we'll make sure you stay safe. Right, Aether? Mr. Farobert? At your service, Your Highness. Leave it all to me. We've got your back, I think. I mean, we've hopefully got your back. Seriously, caves really aren't designed for jumping in. It's alright, Mr. Champion. We still have plenty of time to prepare. After all, we need to figure out how to get into this cave first. Yeah, it's not really that hard to figure out. Perhaps this might come in handy. Hey, let's do something here. Okay. That should get those water spouts to come down a bit. Drop it. Okay. And then go through. Just like that. Okay. Oh! I've got to do it like this. And then... What? Hey! Why did I think that was gonna work? That's because I had to actually do it again, that's why. The door opened? Then come, everyone, let us enter! Okay. So, what's in here? Is there like a full domain or dungeon or something? It's so chilly around here. Such a strange vibe. Paimon's just glad we haven't seen anything weird. Wait a sec. What's that carved on the wall over there? It looks like a story? What's it about? After setting up the trial herself, the princess awaited her guardian within the kingdom. I think I recall this story from the kingdom's records. In the legend, it is said that despite the passing of much time, still there came no sign of a guardian, and it seemed that the kingdom's resources would soon run dry. The princess, whose name was Seoya, I'm not saying that correctly at all, therefore made a decision. She let the kingdom's people fall into deep slumber and sealed off all of its land except the tower, where she alone remained to await the coming of the guardian. What became of this princess? The guardian that she awaited never came. In the end, she is said to have come to the Cave of Eerie Murmurs alone, then vanished from the world without a trace. It is true that the princess showed great courage, but I cannot say that I agree with her approach. As I see it, by deciding to simply wait there while her people slept in blissful ignorance, she consigned her kingdom to an unknown fate. Instead, she should have taken the initiative by calling upon her people to unite as one, seeking out this guardian together. If she had done this, even if all their efforts had turned out to be in vain, at least she would have known that she'd done all that she could. It's just as the last line of the story says, stories follow rules, unfolding in cyclical patterns, but each should follow its own course. Your Highness, it hasn't come to that yet. Yeah, come on, there's still hope. And who knows? There might be some important clues left for us to find. Forgive me. I seem to have gotten a little carried away. Anyway, let's keep searching. Looking around, it seems like we haven't completed the trials in the Cave of Eerie Murmurs yet. Yeah, that's true. We haven't done that yet. Being in the Cave of Eerie Murmurs feels completely different from how Paimon imagined it. Stay on your guard, everyone. Let's proceed slowly. Are there going to be, like, monsters in here or something? Let's jump down here first. Text read. Irritating thing is that it is both reasonable and obvious. Okay. A system for saying goodbye. It's so glaringly obvious. System for saying goodbye. What? What are they talking about? Is there anything else in this area? No? Okay. Through here then. There's another one of them tablets on the wall. I think I saw a slime. No, never mind. Lotus leaves and dewdrops. What the? Why has this story been carved out on the wall? What is it? Someone's carved a story here that goes, once upon a time there was a paper frog who wished he had a pair of wings. He prayed to the goddess, who told him that if he could jump higher than all the other frogs, he would have his wings. Wait a sec. If he could already jump higher than all the other frogs, why would he need wings? Maybe it's just hyperbole? No, this champion's name is actually recorded in the committee's register. This paper frog, whose name was Squirrels, once won the championship 7 times in a row. No frog was his equal. His symbol was a pair of wings made of lotus leaves, so they dubbed him Winged Squirrels. 7 times in a row? Paimon heard you won the championship many times in a row too, Mr. Farabert. Me? Yes, I've won it 7 times, and a stamp 6. But I'd be no match for this champion. Back in those days, they had to figure it all out themselves, without any experience to go on. If my generation of frogs have jumped higher than others, it is merely by jumping up from the shoulders of giants. There he goes again, putting himself down as usual. So what happened to that champion? This I do not know. According to the committee's records, in the last jumping contest he ever took part in, Squirrels came second. So that means... Indeed it does. Given that he no longer felt up to the task of rescuing the princess, Squirrels announced his retirement then and there. Or there and then. He told his friend that the jumping contest no longer held any meaning for him, and that unless he rediscovered its meaning someday, he would never again compete. From that day forth, not once has his name ever again mentioned in the records of Rainsong Pond. So just like those princes and princesses, there was a point in time after which this champion simply vanished from the world. That's right. All in all, this story really doesn't seem like a promising omen. Hold on a minute. The last line of the story is also, stories follow rules, unfolding in cyclical patterns, but each should follow its own course. Why does this line keep reappearing? We'd better complete the rest of the trials first. Yes, you're right. Let's focus on the puzzle before us. Okay then. I wonder where it will lead us in the end. What's all this in here? Looks like this cave has no intention of giving us the answers, but rather plans on testing us instead. The road to success is never straight, huh? Another trial. Let's do this. Thank you. Then let's go take a look at this final trial. Could I have actually had them do it by themselves? It almost seems like I could have. Because that was one of the options. Something about Aether being tired or whatever. Anyways. So I need to... Come on. There we go. It was giving me some trouble for some reason. So I should activate maybe this. No, that's not going to let me activate that. This. Okay. Now I go down into this. And do that. And if I go up here and then call her back. Well, that almost worked, but I need to activate this too. Well, that's not really working out the way it should. Hey, you, raise that. There we go. Ooh, that should do it. I hope the princess does something. I don't know what it hopes, but... Okay, there we go. Looks like we made a great team, Mr. Champion and my honorable paladin. I'm just glad I didn't drag you all down. Okay, now let's open up this treasure chest. I got an excerpt of Bliss and some other stuff. Huh? When did these candles light up? Weird. Oh, the candles in the place lit up, huh? Yay, that must mean we passed the trial, huh? Hee. That all went pretty smoothly. Who's the king of trials now? That's right, this guy. Yeah, sure, why not? You're in such good shape. If only I was as talented as you are. Did you hear that? Hear what? Oh. Stories follow rules, unfolding in cyclical patterns, but each should follow its own course. Once upon a time, there was a paper frog who wished he had a pair of wings. He prayed to the goddess, who told him that if he could jump higher than all the other frogs, he would have his wings. Long ago, there was a princess who personally set up a trial in the kingdom. She waited and waited and waited. Oh, guardian, where art thou? Eek! The papers are talking! In this world, that's not really that weird. Yeah. Another paper frog, just like me. Another useless champion, squandered years, and a pair of worthless, withered wings. Wait, surely you can't be. I am an evaporated dewdrop, a pair of wings too weak for flight. The name Squirrels is no longer one I am fit to bear. It is a great honor to meet you, Your Highness Princess Seoya? I don't know. It is an honor to meet you too, Your Highness. You. Yet another stranger, another princess. So, Paimon's guessing they're the champions and princess mentioned in the story of the wall, or on the wall. They just look like two manuscripts. Well, I mean, they're all made out of paper, so it doesn't really matter at this point. It is an honor to meet you both. You have resided in this cave for a long time now, so you should know why we are here. Your Highness, have you found the answer you were looking for? Where's the guardian we are looking for? Great champion, where is the princess that us paper frogs are supposed to save? You should go back. There are no answers here, only question after question. No river awaits, and the lotus leaves do not exist for us. The pond has never seen Victory's laurel, nor a princess. Stories follow rules, unfolding in cyclical patterns. Such a futile expectation. When will the cycle end? Keep waiting and keep waiting. There are no answers here, only question after question. The pen that wrote these words has not alighted back upon the page, yet the ink of fate has long dried up. Neither the guardian nor the period that marks the end shall appear. Thus it has always been, until now. But each should follow its own course. This is destiny's inexplicable hope. When will the path ahead reveal itself? What are they talking about? Paimon doesn't get it. Neither do I, Paimon. Whatever it is, it doesn't sound too promising. They might as well have said nothing. Huh? But why? No river awaits, and the lotus leaves do not exist for us. That makes it sound like Rainsong Pond is already... Neither the guardian nor the period that marks the end shall appear. Huh. Anyway, we shouldn't jump to conclusions too soon. We haven't even completed the trial yet. Alright, giving up before the contest has even ended seems like a bad etiquette indeed. Well, let's take care of the trials first. There's more? Yeah, let's stay positive. Maybe there'll be a pleasant surprise waiting for us. Wait a second, there's actually more? Yeah, there is. Okay. Well, in that case, how am I supposed to continue? Where... Oh, there she is. Okay, first things first. Let's activate the flowers. Because the flowers obviously all need to be activated. Can I activate this one too? No. What about the one that's all the way up there? Come on, you. Let me activate you. There we go. What about this? Right here. And... Wait. Try the drum over here. Oh. What did that do for me? Oh, I can... Okay, yeah, I can tell it to drop. Okay. Now try the one over here. And drop it. Okay. But I don't really see what that's done for me. Yeah, I'm confused. You know what? Let's just try it, and maybe it'll make sense as I go along. So, I think you have to start from here. Okay. Let's try the drum over here. And, you know what? Maybe if I tell her to return from this part... No? That didn't work. Okay, never mind that. I think I know. I think I figured it out. It's this right over here. Come on. Come back down. Thank you. And then once I go all the way up here and tell it to return, yeah. Awesome. Well, seems like we've passed all the trials, right? We passed the trials, but nothing seems to have happened. Yeah, we got a treasure chest last time. We didn't get a treasure chest this time. Weird. I brought the relic, but it hasn't reacted at all. Are we really meant to just keep waiting here? But what exactly are we waiting for? It's not like some kind of god's gonna suddenly swoop down and tell us what to do, is it? What we are willing to do is wait. All we can do is wait. Meaning lies in waiting. The future lies unknown. When did they appear? And insisting that we wait like that, what are we even waiting for? Perhaps they do not know either, which is why they've been waiting all this time. So long, and they turned into manuscripts. We are echoes with nowhere to return. Existences that do not exist. Unfinished chapters of blank paper, as are you. Together, let us go back to where we belong. Stories follow rules, unfolding in cyclical patterns. Each follow its own course. Hey you, piles of rotten paper. Wow, that's rude, Paimon. Why do you keep telling us to wait? Your Highness, waiting will get us nowhere. So that's it. I knew I wasn't in the wrong place. Your Highness, Princess Sioya. I wish I really knew how to pronounce that correctly. I have my answer. To the rest of you, it is time for us to part ways. Thank you all for everything you have done. Now it is clear to me that the answer lies not in the cave of eerie murmurs. When I first arrived, I was afraid I would have to pay a heavy price to find a way to save the kingdom here. But in the end, the cave of eerie murmurs holds nothing more than a pile of old manuscripts, deceiving themselves by waiting. It is a great relief to know that hope still lies elsewhere. The future lies unknown. Meaning lies in waiting. No, Your Highness, meaning lies in the unknown. Waiting leads only to waiting. I most certainly will not save the kingdom using such a method. If the guardian does not come, I will go in search of them. If I cannot find them in my kingdom, I will search the rest of the world instead. I mean, I thought the frog was supposed to be the guardian, but, I guess apparently not. If they are not to be found in this world, then I shall keep searching beyond it. Even if my kingdom is destined to fall, I wish to witness its final moments, when its ending is written. Such blindness, such impetuosity, such frivolity, such ignorance, such superficiality, such impatience. Say what you will, but as you yourselves just put it, stories follow rules, unfolding in cyclical patterns, but each should follow its own course. If your path lies here in endless waiting, then mine lies instead on the road ahead. Can I say something? If you were to deem it acceptable, I would like to go along with Your Highness too. Wow, someone seems pretty motivated all of a sudden. After all, if I could help Your Highness find your guardian, that could also be interpreted as saving the princess. I am the champion of Rainsong Pond. Even if I do it for Rainsong Pond, I must continue to fulfill my duty. If you're willing to help, then on behalf of the entire kingdom of breezes and bells, I thank you. That is most all right. I will, of course, still have to ask the committee's opinion, especially the first referee and a stamp. As you all know, I have always seemed to cause trouble. We believe in you, our champion of champions. Great. So what's rather? Huh? Your Highness? The relic next to you, it's lighting up. Of course it is. Oh, special cutscene. Wasn't expecting a special cutscene. Now that I think about it, how many special cutscenes have actually been part of this timed event? Not very many. What the? Whoa. Okay then. You just started flying like that. How come the relic suddenly lit up? So that's what each should follow its own course meant. Her Highness seems to have figured something out that Paimon hasn't. It seems to me like it was saying we first need to find Lotus Leaf on our own, then drift something. But has the owner of this relic ever considered what would happen if we fell into the water en route? We just have to climb back out again and prove our courage by overcoming adversity, just like he did in the past. Did I? Thank you for your kindness, Your Highness. But I believe I did something. Blah. Her Highness, it's Her Highness. Hello. Look, Her Highness is flying along with a bunch of people and frogs. Do you think she's found something? Or the Guardian? Look, our relic is shining up ahead. That's wonderful news. We can finally fly around without something. Man, I wish I could actually keep up with what they were saying. Hope lies ahead. Our future lies outside. Meaning lies beyond the end of the sentence. Courage lies in dialogue. Survival and returning. Meaning in seeking. Whee! This is pretty neat. Hey, isn't that our champion? Hey, Firebird. Firebird is flying. He's incredible. Look over here, champion, Mr. Champion. Give us a wave with your champion feet. Ha 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 ha! The good fellow's blushing. Let's not embarrass him any longer. Oh, so that's what happens. Fascinating. Stories follow rules, unfolding in cyclical patterns, but each should follow its own course. Farewell. May all of you find your own way forward. Farewell. Huh. Cool. I like that. That was neat. I wish I could have enjoyed it a little bit more, but you know, they should have made that voiced because it was really hard to keep up with the dialogue there. Oh, my leg. Is it still on the ground? I can barely feel it anymore. All 4 of your feet are still firmly on the ground, Mr. Champion, and they're in better condition than any of us are. Those princesses from the past, they seem to have left too. I hope they'll never return to the Cave of Eerie Murmurs. Hehe, seems our trip to the Cave of Eerie Murmurs wasn't for nothing at all, after all. With the relic lit up, there's hope for your Highness's kingdom again. That is indeed so. The fact that the relic has lit up means that it has found a guardian worthy of acknowledgement. It seems that the guardian that the relic was looking for was not a valiant warrior in the usual sense. A true guardian who is worthy of acknowledgement is the one who always follows their heart. Someone who pushes forward relentlessly, in spite of their fear. It turns out that this relic, which we'd been treating like the problem, was actually the answer all along. Those manuscripts that were waiting in the cave... They've been waiting for their path to appear, waiting all this time. But waiting leads only to more waiting. Hehe, no one can find the solution to a problem simply by searching within the problem itself. Like, you wouldn't be able to pick up a leaf from a tree if you were standing on the leaf itself. Sounds complicated. Paimon's feeling dizzy now. Anyway, none of them were acknowledged by the relic as guardians. Your Highness and Mr. Farbert were though. So now that the relic is lit up and we found our guardian, doesn't that mean that the problem's solved, Your Highness? Well, you could say that, but I still haven't managed to figure out exactly why it lit up. Looks like Saborn and Safash will be doing some more research for me. Oh, and now that the Guardian's been chosen, doesn't that mean that the relic's trial has lost its meaning too? It'd be a shame to tear it all down. I'd still like to have another go or two, oh yeah. No, I will keep the trial in place, but it will now be used to train Guardians rather than to choose them. If every flying squirrel were to become a Guardian someday, then no matter what difficulties the Kingdom of Breezes and Bells faced, we could overcome them together. Ha 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 ha. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. It's just a pity that the relic refused to light up sooner, and that Saborn and Safash stood in my way. Now that I've been acknowledged by the relic, I shall do whatever I wish. Whoops, I didn't mean to accidentally skip that. What did I say? That's why you're the princess, Your Highness. No. Her Highness's title should now be Guardian Princess of the Kingdom of Breezes and Bells. So, Your Highness, would it be alright if I took part in the training of in your kingdom? But you're already the champion. You're really up for anything now, huh? Yeah, sure, why not? No. Didn't you hear that sound just now? That voice that was speaking? This is the trial you must face to serve Princess Semest and fulfill your calling. Nope. Whose voice was it? It was the same as the voice of the manuscript that claimed to be Squirrels in the Cave of Eerie Murmurs. Surely the great champion himself doesn't actually believe that I can fulfill Rainsong Pond's calling. But Princess Semest doesn't need me to save her. If anything, I'm the one who needs her help. So you told him you could do it? Huh? No, I didn't. Or rather, he had no intention of hearing my opinion anyway. But seeing as it's for the calling of Rainsong Pond, what choice do I have? You're saying that you would like to undergo the trial. Then of course you're welcome to. I couldn't be more delighted to hear the champion of Rainsong Pond, that the champion of Rainsong Pond is willing to serve in my kingdom. Besides, I had planned I had plans to travel far away in the future, and I was actually about to invite you to come along with me. I mean, I thought that's what they already decided on, but okay. After all, there are bound to be places in this world where the wind doesn't blow. When that time comes, we'll have to rely on these champion legs of yours. Really? Then I'll try my best not to make any mistakes. Though I've never tried jumping with anyone riding on my back before. Then you'll have to train harder from now on. And the two of you, thank you for all the help you've given me and my kingdom. Though there are still many mysteries yet to be solved. Why did we need to find a guardian, and why would the kingdom fall into decay by itself? And why would Rainsong Pond have such a calling? But at least the kingdom has been saved, so now I have more time to contemplate these questions. Aether? Don't you think that those manuscripts in the Cave of Eerie Murmurs seem to be related to a story we've heard before? That legend that Nailu told us about, the goddess of fate who used ink to compose her stories? Maybe. Do you know something about all this? Well, it's long and complicated. Well, actually, it's not that long or complicated, a story. You tell Princess Semest and Farabrit the story of the goddess of fate. So basically, everything we've been through is a story written by the goddess of fate. Alright, now we've really become characters in a story. But seeing as the goddess wrote us in, why didn't she give us an ending? First those poor souls in the cave, and now us. We've all been through so much. I mean, I imagine she didn't give you guys an ending because she didn't want you to have an ending. That's my guess, anyways. So that must mean it was also the goddess of fate who came up with that line. Stories follow rules, unfolding in cyclical patterns, but each should follow its own course. I mean, that makes sense, yeah. I need some time to think about these matters more deeply. My loyal paladin, please take these gifts as a token of my gratitude. These were the only treasures I brought with me. If you have time, please come back to visit the Kingdom of Breezes and Bells again. I believe that you may have some questions for me. But first, I must rest well and think hard. Okay. Well then, thank you very much for my prize right here. Hey, before I go back over there, because I am going to go back over there, what's up with these guys? What are they doing? Oh, okay. Like a little puzzle for... I don't even know if you call that a puzzle, but it's something that you can do. Anyways, let's go back over there, talk to the princess very fast, and then after I do that, I'm going to be stopping, assuming I can find her. Is she down here? No, that's not her. Shall I take you on a flight? Maybe later. But where is she? Is she up here? This is where I originally found her to start the quest, but I don't see her anywhere around here. You know what? Let's do the flight thing very fast then. Why not? No. I'm afraid of heights. I prefer my feet planted firmly on the ground. Thank you for your goodwill. Please take this. Okay. But, where could the princess be? That's a good question, isn't it? Or that's the main question, really. Okay, I'm starting to think that maybe, I need to actually do the final quest, which is up here, before she'll, like, appear. Maybe there's another quest over here that starts once you complete this one all the way up here. So, anyways, yeah, this is where I'm going to be stopping. I'm going to remove this because I no longer need this right there. But, yeah, thank you very much for watching. Next time I play, this is the final quest in this area. I might actually do all this optional, you know, collecting treasure chest stuff first, you know, as well as, like, the puzzle solving and whatnot, and then move on to the quest, because I definitely want to get that out of the way. So, yeah. See you next time when I hopefully, you know, make some good progress on that. Bye-bye.